Welcome back to the channel, folks. Today we are talking about the tires that I put on the F-150 quite a while ago, and they're probably 25,000 miles that I've put on them. It is the Falken WildPeak AT3W, and some folks in the comments have been asking what my thoughts are on them after ownership, how they've worn, how they're doing, and I would love to give you some snow review, but here in Wyoming, compared to last year especially, we are having a crazy dry winter. So I think my place, it was showing like 70 something inches last year. Right now we're sitting at like less than 20. So it's been kind of rough winter for snowfall, but I can talk about it. I've driven it quite a bit in the snow and try to stay out of the wind as much as I can, but I have enjoyed these tires. Let me show you how they've worn, what they look like, and hopefully answer some of your questions. All right, for those of you new to the channel, this is a 2018 F-150. It is the limited, which means from the factory, it comes with the 22-inch wheel. Unfortunately, not exactly what I would have picked, but that is what I was, dealt when I bought this vehicle. I'm not going to complain. This still looks good. Just finding a 22-inch tire that is a good performing tire, unless you go really big, like a 35 or a 37. 22s on this kind of type of vehicle, a lot of them are just kind of passenger tires. There's not a lot of all-terrains or really good tires that are good in the snow, at least in my opinion. I think it's getting better because there's so many manufacturers that are making vehicles with 22-inch wheels. And obviously that's probably why you're watching this, because you might have the same thing. So anyways, from the factory to 275 45 22, I went ahead and did a 285 45 22. So just slightly bigger, not really anything visually that you're gonna tell, in my opinion, from the factory size. But nonetheless, I've had these for probably 25,000 miles, and just kind of want to show you the wear. So on the fronts here, they got little wear indicators there. They're kind of like a little step, as you can see here. So fronts have worn really well. Obviously they've been rotated. I'll be totally honest with you, they probably haven't been rotated as often and on time as they should, but there's the front, and move around to the back here, and there is, let's see, right here, wear indicator there. So definitely need to get these rotated. I think the rears have been on there for a while. Show you the other side just for funsies while we're making a video. And the rears here, like I said, pretty much the same. Fronts pretty close to the same. So yeah, pretty happy with how they've worn. I would say that it is as expected, right? Like, I don't think they've worn poorly by any means. And, every tire is going to wear down, right? So they don't look like they did when they were brand new, but they definitely still have a lot of tread on them, and I think they've held up pretty well. So this truck gets parked outside, and as you can see, I mean, we're on the mountain, we get snow, we get some pretty hot temperatures in the summertime, and they've been driven in all those conditions, right? Rain, snow, hot summer days. Done a little bit of towing, nothing crazy, right? It's just a F-150, and this is the F-150 that tows the least outside of the Raptors. But yeah, so a little bit of towing with like a surf boat setup and an enclosed trailer that we, haul around from time to time. Nothing crazy, right? It's not weekly that it tows. Honestly, not even monthly, right? It's just a handful of times here or there, especially in the summertime. So overall, that is the kind of driving we do. Most of it's in town. Obviously, there's some highway travel, a little bit more lately with some of the work I've been doing, but most of this is in town. So kind of the really tough way to treat your tires is just cruising around town every day, and that's what this truck does. So overall, for those of you not used to the channel, I do live at the base of the mountain, so the town that I live in is all the way down there, right? So you can kind of see that. So we have some elevation change, which means we do get a lot more snow compared to what you get into in town, and so that means this truck gets kind of beat up in the wintertime usually, right? We're usually climbing up the mountain and dealing with some tough weather. So that is why I bought these. These are 3-peak rated. There's a little logo right there, you can see, which means they're not necessarily a snow tire, but they've passed tests basically like minimums on, I think, braking and acceleration on ice or slippery surfaces. So again, not a snow tire, but they are kind of rated to be good in the snow and ice and inclement weather. So I would highly recommend looking for that when you're buying new tires. Again, they're not going to be a snow tire. There is a big difference, but I'm not going to really put a snow tire on this thing. I'm not really interested in having two sets of tires, one for summer and one for winter. Not my style. Really happy with how they've performed. It's not fair to compare what they were like compared to the stock tires, because obviously we all know stock, you know, half-ton truck tires are pretty terrible. But when you do compare them, it is night and day. This thing has been an absolute animal in the snow with these tires. Really, really have been happy about them. I've recommended them to a lot of people, and those people that I have recommended to, they have bought them and they've enjoyed them as well. As far as highway travel goes, here in Wyoming, we have a lot of 2-lane highways, 70-mile-an-hour speed limits, and then we do have some I-25 north and south travel that is actually 80 mile an hour, and at 82, 83 miles an hour where I cruise in this thing when I do take it on the interstate, really I can't say there's anything bad about it. There's no additional noise that I notice, and this truck is pretty well insulated with the glass and some of the sound deadening they do in these trucks. Maybe your experience will be different if your truck has some less noise canceling technology in it, but in this truck at least, the noise is not an issue, and that's something I really enjoy. And then as far as the fuel economy goes, I would say that it is exactly the same as it was before. If it has changed at all, it's such a minor amount that it's hard to really tell, because driving conditions are always different. If you're remote starting, if you're driving on the interstate, more on a tank versus the other tank. So if it has changed, it's so little that you're not going to notice it. This video seems all positive, which it kind of is. I really don't have that many negative things to say. The only issue I've really had, it was not the tire's fault. I don't know what happened, but I clipped something. Part of me thinks it was in a car wash, one of the ones with like rails on it, because I went through the car wash, and as soon as I came out, was drying off and, you know, vacuuming, got back in, got the low pressure light, and it was on the inside of the wheel, and it just was like a big gouge, and it kind of made sense that maybe something on that rail, like the angle I came in, maybe it clipped it. I don't know. I mean, car washes, people go through them all day, every day, and I've never been told that's happened to anybody else, and I've used that wash before quite a bit. So it could have been something else that day, and it just so happened to start losing most of its air after I washed it. But anyway, so that's not a fault of the tire. I paid for, you know, $30 extra or something per tire when I bought them to have replacement on them. So, you know, took it to my guy who does my tires, and they had one overnighted to me, no problem. And that was probably, I probably only had like 3,000 or 4,000 miles on it. So we just put a new one on. The wear, it wasn't worth worrying about the other three that already had been, you know, worn. So there is one tire on there that's newer than the other three, but not new enough that it was going to cause it. Anyways, this is a quick one, hopefully, at least. Hope you guys found that informational. If you are looking at buying the Falken WildPeak AT3Ws in this size, or really any size, that's kind of my 20+ thousand mile review on them. Nothing crazy. All I can say is I've enjoyed them, and I've been recommending them to people still, which is a good thing. And I would recommend them to you as well if your, you know, circumstances are like mine. So hope you guys found this informational. Drop a like, drop a comment, let me know what you want to see next. Catch you on the next one. Take it easy.